What's going on? Antichrist Magazine. We are Screams of Syrens. My name is Trevor.
I'm Alex.
I'm Isaac.
I'm Donald.
We're missing our drummer Christian, but we're going to do the best we can to fill in the void in his absence.
Well, me, Donald, and Christian used to be in a band back in the day called Automatic Octane, and obviously that wasn't good enough, so we changed it to Screams of Syrens
With a Y.
with a
With a
Y,
Y.
because it was different. It was edgy.
With a Y.
With a Y.
Well, we kind of came up with a concept to write 3 singles about serial killers. The first one we released back in February of this year, and it was called The Ripper. This is the follow-up, which was loosely based around Charles Manson. Very loosely, I would say. But yeah, the story behind it is just it's a cult leader. Crazy cult leader, basically. Yeah, you gotta listen to it.
You gotta listen to the track. I think it's what I got out of it. Obviously, writing the music was its own process, but when Trevor wrote the lyrics, I kind of got the impression that whatever you want to call it, a spirit, a demon, or whatever, was overtaking the main character who's singing in the song, and you see his descent into madness, into kind of the same thing that happened with Manson.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the perspective that I saw it coming from.
The song definitely evolved from when we started it to when it was finished. Yeah. Lyrically, I mean, it's just based around a psychopath falling further and further into madness. You can kind of see the progression as the song goes along. Intentionally, I kind of wrote the choruses a little bit differently, so it was, instead of repeating like normal songs do, it kind of shows him falling further and further. So it's just a descent into madness, more or less.
It's a crime scene photo. That's all it is.
It's very pointed.
Yeah. It's a very brutal crime scene photo that we pulled off the internet. And it works.
I mean, it depends on who signed you.
My take is it has to be the right deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be the right label. It's got to be the right deal. Anymore, I mean, so many artists are self-sufficient at this point. It's
If you have the right resources to do it yourself. Like,
yeah.
Especially at this point with like everything going on with like COVID and all that, like it would I feel like a label right now wouldn't do you too much good.
No. So yeah.
That being said, we are looking for
We're actively searching for a label.
It's just not, it's not as important as it was, because
But I think
you have
all
so
of us,
many tools
we
left,
still
so-
collectively would love to get signed by one of our favorite labels.
Of course.
Just to be amongst the bands that we look up to and have wanted to, tour with and do stuff with all these years. But it's not as important as it used to be.
Yeah.
Jesus.
A whole year's worth of shows.
Yeah.
We had to postpone the Battle for Whacking, which was looking pretty good.
Postponed some tours that were prospective tours.
All kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
unfortunate.
Really.
Fuck COVID.
That's why we checked Mandela.
Sponsor us. I want to hear his first.
Debo.
Is he just perfect on stage all the time?
No way. I mean, of course, we make mistakes, but
No, epic fail.
Epic fail.
I've never had.
Actually, no, I don't think Donald's ever had an epic fail.
Not that I can
It's too
recall.
perfect.
I have had an epic fail.
Yeah, I have too. I know I have.
We were in Seattle, right? Was it Seattle, wasn't it?
No, Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah, you're right.
And last freaking breakdown. Headbanged a little bit too hard, lost my balance, went flying back into my amp. And that was the night there was a photographer there for a magazine. I think.
Yep.
And I remember falling back on my back, just like holding out a note and looking up. And there's a photographer right at the edge of the stage, rattling off pictures.
Oh, dude, he was the right place.
Yeah.
It was so perfect.
Bam! I was like, damn it.
I know for me, one of the worst things I hate doing is forgetting lyrics. And there was once we were premiering a new song. This was a long time ago, and I've never done it since. We were playing a new song for the first time. I think it was a Fire Within off the EP.
That was a long time ago.
And I forgot literally all the lyrics. We started the song and I realized I couldn't remember any of it.
Oh my god.
Thank God it was a heavy one, so I just screamed random nonsense and it worked. Nobody had heard it. That was one of the worst for me. I've never done that again, but that was horrible. Yeah, you guys?
Nothing with this band because obviously I'm the best player in the band. but you know, it's happened to me before. You know, in other performances, I did have one where I got so lit before a show, and I don't know. It was just one of the songs that we were playing. I had skipped an entire verse and just went straight into something else, but the whole rest of the band kept going on, so I was just playing something completely different and singing something completely different.
Oh no!
And I didn't realize it until about like 30 seconds until somebody, you know, my drummer, somebody caught my attention and said, "Wrong fucking part."
Whoops.
Oh, yeah,
I try not to get too lit nowadays. I would say two bands that have caught my attention, and I don't think they're necessarily new, but they're new to me. They recently came on my radar. One was Kajinda, which I thought was really good. What are you laughing for?
I don't know. It's such a weird. I've never heard of that band before.
You should laugh at that.
Dude, they're sick.
That's like probably somebody heard Sirens of the Water.
Super froggy, super froggy, and super genty. And the other one I would say would be Gojira.
Yeah.
Gojira. When I first heard that, what is it called? Explosia is one, and then I'm gonna butcher it. L'Enfant Sauvage or something like that.
That's a good song.
L'Enfant Sauvage.
Yeah, L'Enfant Sauvage.
That's a really nice
that song
accent.
is ballsy.
It's gefilte fish.
That was Beer Guy.
Sorry about that.
If you followed us before in the beginning.
Go with Gojira as well. Yeah.
I'm
They're
stuck on...
fairly new to me as well.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. As far as new bands.
I'm stuck on Their Dogs Were Astronauts right now, man.
Yeah.
Oh. We love you the weird stuff.
Infant Annihilator.
Mm.
Blasphemian. I recently, like, for the first time, saw that song, the music video, specifically for the first time, and it's terrifying.
Damn, it's probably never going to be the same again.
Honestly, I have hopes it's going to make it better. Because I can say, in Southern California, the music scene got stale. Like, people just weren't going to shows anymore. It got,
Jaded.
honestly...
People are jaded.
Jaded. It got really depressing. And I feel
Yeah.
like, honestly, because of how long it's been since anyone's been to a show, you watch first, even local show back, it's going to be packed.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
I think
that's kind of been my hope through this whole thing, is that it's going to kind of reinvigorate everyone and kind of re-energize the music scene, just honestly in general. That's been my hope. I'm kind of being positive on it.
Absolutely, you can, but you know, we'll see what happens with all the venues that are starting to close down.
Oh,
because
that
of it.
part's gonna change, yeah.
And you know, bands are the ones that are going to have to take the hit, because I have a feeling once shows do start to happen, venues will not, even, you know, well-known international acts probably aren't going to get paid as much, because venues are going to start taking a bigger cut, at least probably for the first year. That's what I see.
Just trying to get back up.
Trying to get back ahead.
It's
Which
gonna
I'm
be, it's
fine.
gonna be a literal community thing at that point.
Yeah,
where
which
everyone's
I'm
just trying
fine
to
with.
make
I
it
feel like
happen.
that could build a bigger sense and a stronger sense of community.
Yep. World domination.
I was just about to say that.
I mean, honestly,
What a generic answer.
It is, but I mean, you know, in reality, we want to start touring a lot and making it into like an actual career instead of just something that we're, you know, struggling doing with day jobs. That's the plan. I mean, to make it into a career. That's all of our dreams collectively. So that's really it. Support bands, please, and support us. That's all I got.